Hello and welcome back to another episode of the series where I try and complete this loot deck. If you missed the last episode, which was the first one in Alderman, runs 1 to 10, there's a bit of a spoiler on the screen. We managed to get our first entry into the loot deck, the first one completed, which was the Anneal Blade from Alderman, which I picked up on I think the 8th or 9th run towards the end there, so that's good news. At least I'm getting progress. It's not like I'm going to be hitting all of the time, but it's good to get a hit quite early on in the series rather than maybe 15-20 episodes into it. So today we're going somewhere different. Obviously I want to try and get around all of the dungeons to begin with before I start diving into them for maybe the second or third time, and tonight I'm going to be heading into the Sunken Temple. There's two items I need in the Sunken Temple on the loot deck. We have the Bludgeon of the Grinning Dog, and we have the Soul Catcher Halo. So both of those items I'm pretty sure I've never had before and been subsequently sold. So both of them are brand new to me, never got before, and I need to get. Now let's dig into where I am on the map and what we're doing. Bring the game up. Okay, so it also gives me an opportunity to introduce one of another new character. So I'm now on my old realm, which is Magferidon, and this is my Goblin Hunter Duck Duck, Beast Mastery Hunter, and he is responsible for Sunken Temple amongst some of the other ones, and gives me an opportunity just to mix up the characters a little bit. So, where is he, and how do we get to Sunken Temple? So we are currently in Bog Paddle, which is definitely one of my most favourite of the villages or sort of areas or towns that I could potentially be in, and I'll show where I am. So again, Eastern Kingdoms, Swamp of Sorrows, Bog Paddle is up here, sort of really sort of a 1 o'clock position of this zone. Sunken Temple, or the Temple of Atul Hakar by its proper name, is just down here to the immediate south of me. So if I zoom out, this is where I am, right towards the sort of southeastern tip of Eastern Kingdoms. So again, if you're Alliance, probably the easiest way is to get Stormwind and then just got across, very easy. The Horde, it would definitely be go to Wargrimmer, get the Zeppelin to Stranglethorn Vale, and from there just head northeast up to Swamp of Sorrows. It's not really a long trek, and that's certainly the way I would recommend you look to go and do that. So let me show you how to get there. Again, Bog Paddle. So looking to head due south, and there it is. Again, Swamp of Sorrows is definitely one of my sort of favourite zones. I really do like the sort of feeling, sort of the ambience here. Okay, so once you get over here, there's a little bit of a maze to get in. It's not too difficult once you've done it once or twice, but if you've never done it before, I'll show you how to do it. So if you come round onto, what side is this, the southern or the eastern side? The southern side, you've got some stairs. So if you come down here, and land in this area here, you've got this NPC who stands here, which is nearby where the meeting stone is. Then you want to be looking north, as we are at the moment. Then you'll go down some steps, stroke a ramp. You then hook a left, go down some more, hook another left, and then go down some more until you go into the water. At that stage, you need to sort of swim underwater for a few steps. Again, perfect environment for my ghost crawler pets. And then you're going to go straight ahead. You've got 2 sets of stairs which you can go up. Through the little gap. It now comes up on the screen that you're actually in the Temple of Atul Hakar, or Sunken Temple. You're going to hook a right, go down some more steps until you enter this room here. Now what you do sometimes see in this room, it shows me someone's probably been in here very recently, there's normally a couple of enemy characters over there, and sometimes you get a rare over here as well. You also can get a treasure chest in here as well, which I believe is in this corner over here when it's up. And then the entrance to the dungeon is just here. So bring up the map, you can see we've kind of cut through, and this is indicating where we are at the moment, but you don't need to particularly worry about that. So let's go into the dungeon itself, then we'll have a look at all the things, and I'll show you what's inside the dungeon and what things we can potentially look to get. So this is showing at the moment all of the things all of the potential zone drops, because that's what we're interested in, zone specific blues. So starting from the top, there are 2 leather working patterns which can drop from here. You've got the green dragon scale breastplate, which is bind on pickup, and you've got the green dragon scale leggings, which is also bind on pickup. Now my top tip with this dungeon is do not do this on a leather worker, because if you do this on a leather worker, you are going to be swamped in these patterns. I can guarantee if you took a leather worker in here now and you don't have those patterns, you would get both of them in the first 1 or 2 runs, guaranteed, probably more than 1 or 2. So if you're going to do this dungeon, try not to do it on a leather worker. If this character's got engineering and mining, which is, you know, irrelevant, but it's not leather working, which means that it's not going to be a problem. Then you have an assortment of dungeon-specific blues, and fairly similar to Alderman. Some of them are quite pricey, some of them are not so. So the ones I need specifically are the Bludgeon of the Grinning Dog, which is extinct on my realm. Bear in mind I'm on Macferidon at the moment, which is medium population. But it's got a region market value average of just over 100,000. And then the Soulcatcher Halo, which is also extinct in my realm, which has got a region market value of 70,000. So both of those items at the moment. On this character, I couldn't buy anything if I wanted to. Then you've got some others like Death Blow, which is worth just under 90,000. Rage Hammer, which I've picked up and sold for 14,000 when it's actually worth 130 on this server. Stealth Blade, 200,000. Stinging Blow, 65,000. I've actually got one of those on an Alliance character already. I think I've got a Stealth Blade as well, as which I'm looking to sell. And a few others as well. So again, Winter's Bite, 140, Slime Scale Braces, 52, the Merc Water Gauntlets, 74. These ones were 100,000 as well, and those ones 53,000. So all of them in here are actually worth a little bit of gold, and they're not that difficult to get. So I wouldn't say that you guaranteed to get one every single time you run 10 runs. But I think if you did 50 runs, 5 runs, you'll probably get at least one of them, I would dare say. But time will tell. You know, this series will be a good judge of just how frequent these things drop. So, obviously I don't need all of these on, so let's go back into all the things and then switch that off to show me what I actually do need. And it should come up with 2, which it does. So the Bludgeon of the Grinning Dog and the Skullcatcher Halo. I think the bludgeon I can actually equip myself. I don't need to send that to anybody else. So let's click OK on that. Let's bring up Loot Appraise Challenge, which has probably already started. So let's do a new session and let's crack on. So once you get into the dungeon itself, it's not particularly big. There's a number of different wings, but you don't need to go and kill all the mobs. It's a case you can probably be in and out of this in less than 4 minutes on any character. Remember, this is a hunter. So once you go through, you get this first sort of pack of mobs there, so I'm just going to multi-shot these down. Again, I don't think I've got any Bear Tartar on this character, which I don't, which isn't necessarily a problem for this dungeon, to be perfectly honest with you. And then you can loot all these. Now, I did say to begin with, if you've got a level worker, I would advise not to take a level worker into this dungeon, because you're going to be swamped with those patterns. There is a number of skinnable creatures. I think probably the vast majority of the creatures in this dungeon are skinnable. So if you've got a skinner, that might be worth taking him. So after the first pack, we're going to hook a right, kill these 4 dudes over here. We're going to leave these. We're not going to go down that. We're going to move into the centre, and we're going to kill these 6 or 7 of them over here. And then leave those. We're going to take a right again, kill these 4. Let me show you where I am. So this first little area here, this sort of first wing, I ignore. I don't bother with any of that. Then going to move forward, and then I'm going to kill these 4 or 5 of them here. 4 of them, I'm going to kill these. From there, I'm going to then go and kill this little pack here of 6 or 7. And then from there, back out again, so I'm not going to go into that area at all. Then I'm going to move into this central area here. Do these. I'm then going to go into this pack directly ahead. You hover around this sort of this little alcove area here. Loot these, and then finally speed up. I'm going to then hook back round into this one over here. So you got this wing. You've got another little pack at the entrance. Show you again where I've just gone, just in case it wasn't clear. So I'm going to go in this. So I'm ignoring that wing completely, ignoring this wing completely. I'm going to go in there, kill these mobs in this, and that is pretty much it. Now you can go and kill this. This has got two sort of mini bosses here and a boss at the end. This one's got a few little mobs down here and a boss in the middle. Just for speed and efficiency, I don't bother. Okay, so this room has got the only humanoids in the dungeon. Now when you kill these, they'll turn into sort of spirits or ghosts, which you can't kill. So just move from pack to pack, killing these guys, ignoring the ghosts. You've got two bosses at the end there. As soon as you kill them, all the rest of these will run in. So just kill them down as well. Loot them, you'll get the loot of the boss as well. And then for whatever reason, you've got one guy, who just stands over here, who you can then kill. And that is pretty much it. So we're now going to come back out of this little wing. We're going to head back into the centre, the pit of sacrifice, before heading towards the exit. So, not a great deal of mobs in this dungeon. Not in terms of the last dungeon, Alderman, which had plenty in there, and the first dungeon I ran, which was Skolomance, which has got even more than this as well. But you can get some decent blues. Now, when you enter the pit of sacrifice again, you get these two dragons come down. Dream Scythe and Weaver, which you can kill. I'm not entirely sure if they drop any of the decent loot, but it's there in front of you anyway. And then we're just going to wander out of the instance, out of the door, reset and go again. So even this particularly slow walkthrough, which I've just done, took just over 4 minutes. You can see just how quick it is. You don't need any druids, you don't need any particular speed sets on any of your characters, you don't need to have the ability to dream walk in and out. It's kind of a little circle. And there's the two mobs I was telling you about at the beginning, which you can go and kill if you wanted to, and then back in. So let's reset the instance. I don't think there's a great deal to say other than that. I'm going to run this through 9 more times. Hopefully there will be a highlight if I get a blue. I don't think there's any greens in here which are worth mentioning. If there's anything worth, let's say over 5,000, I'll just highlight it at the end and not the bag sort of inspection. But if not, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so that's the first blue I've picked up so far on this run, which actually is one of the ones I needed, which is the Soul Catcher Halo, which is pretty good going, so 70,299. So I picked it up from this first pack here in the Layer of the Chosen, which is incredibly good luck. So this was run 4 to pick that, and it's the first one I've picked up, but for 70,000, again, I'm not going to look to sell that. That's something I'm going to equip myself. Well, not in this character, send it to a character that can equip it. But it just means that in terms of this dungeon, that's one of the 2 I needed to get already picked up, which is, again, incredibly lucky. I recorded the Alderman episode literally minutes before I've done this one, which shows that I managed to pick up 2 of the ones I needed from the deck within the last hour, which is absolutely fantastic. So there we go. So run number 4. It doesn't take particularly long to get these ones, this dungeon, and that's the Soul Catcher Halo picked up. Let's go and stash it over here for safekeeping, and let's finish the runs. Okay, so that's the 10 runs done. It took 32 minutes 32 seconds, of which obviously the first run was a little bit slower. I had my recording software, which I used to record this, crashed during it, so I had to boot that back up again. So you can kind of see, even with those things, it's a very, very quick dungeon. So if you've got a spare toon who you can just park outside and you want to go and maybe go and collect some of this is definitely one of the sort of instances I would recommend. I'd say the only downside to the instance is every time you go in and go out, you don't have an opportunity to kind of clear your bags. So you're kind of relying on the destroy trash button over here in Loot Appraise just to get rid of some of the junk, to clear up more space. And then once you've done your 10 runs, you know, this character has got his Hearthstone set here in Bog Paddle, so I can just Hearthstone back, sell my stuff, and then when I need to go back in again, I just need to fly across the water and get back into the temple. So It's not ideal not being able to just walk out the dungeon like you could do with Alderman or Scholarmant and just get rid of all your stuff. You know, you use your vendor mount, so you have to be a little bit creative with this. So you'll have seen the highlight. I did manage to get a blue item, and unbelievably, it was one of the blue items which I needed, which was the Soulcatcher Halo. Region market value average is 70,000. That made up the bulk of the 82,000 which Loot Praises suggests that I got in the 10 runs. You can kind of see there some of the greens, how modest the prices are across the EU for these greens as well. They're just not worth it. So I did keep the best green I picked up just to show you, and this is worth just over 3,000, and on this medium pop server is 6,000. This won't be something I try and sell. I'll just open this as soon as this video is done. And then I picked up 2 Mithril lock boxes, which I'll get opened again. In fact, I can actually open them on this character, so let's open these up. Can I open these on here? Yeah, he's an engineer. Let's see what we've got in these lock boxes. I think he's going to be opening most of them actually, because my rogue is on a different server. Let's see if we get lucky with any of these. Dusk Woven Pants worth 100 gold. And we get some plans worth 40 gold, and some more armor worth 260. So you can see, you know, very similar to the greens we picked up actually in the 10 runs, you know, utter trash. So I'm not going to use any of those. However, this dungeon is very much you either hit or you miss, and the odds are not in your favour. But on this occasion, it was a hit. It just means that there's one left to pick up now from this dungeon, which is the Bludgeon of the Grinning Dog. Once that's been collected, I can cross that instance out, because that means both of the 2 items I needed for the loot deck are done. But I think I'll wrap things up for now. More than happy with that. The Soulcatcher Halo I've never seen before. You can see I've never sold it or used it before. So all in all, a very good 10 runs. Okay, thanks again for watching, and until next time, goodbye.